Well, here we are again with the Beechcraft. This time we're going to put the wings together. Okay, now first of all, what I've done, I'm just going to use one carbon fibre tube, which is an arrow shaft, in each wing, and I think that'll be enough strength. Now, as they're not long enough, what I've done, I've cut one of the arrow shafts in two, in half, and I'm going to join it there with a little piece of carbon fibre tube that will slide inside. I guess I could just lay the one in and not take it to the end, but I've decided to go with this. What I'll do with the joint on, say, the bottom wing, I'll have the joint on the right hand side, and on the top wing I'll have the joint on the left hand side. So it'll balance out the little bit of difference in weight. Okay, so first of all I'm just going to glue just a little bit of tube. I found a bit of tube, I don't know what it is, about 4mm I guess. That'll fit nicely inside the arrow shaft. Oh, that was tight. It was tight because it started to go off. Okay, what I'll do, I'll just send that down a little. Okay, and I'll do the other. I'll do the other one exactly the same. Okay, so now, first of all, we'll glue together the ailerons. The ailerons come in two pieces and a little joining piece in the middle. Just have to make sure that the little slot there is not covered. This is a little slot in the aileron where that's for the hinge. So we'll just make sure that's not blocked, and we'll clear it out with afterwards with a little sanding somewhere. That's like a little nail file thing that I keep for sanding out these little thin parts like this. Main thing is to make sure that when we glue this together, it's nice and flat. And what I'll do, I'll put it flat on the table, like that, and like that, to make sure it's nice and straight. What I've done on the later one, I've done away with these formers to connect the wings together and the ailerons, and I've made a reduced joiner to each part, which should drop the weight down slightly. Although if I decide to go with the new joining system, then we'll be back to using formers again, but what I'll do, I'll make the formers slightly thinner so they'll be lighter. Anyway, we'll carry on gluing the hinge. Slides in quite nice. Glue the other one together. And just make sure that's clear. Again, make sure to get it nice and straight and flat. Glue my fingers together again. Nice and flat. The hinge is clean, a little bit tight. I do have a better nail file than I use for this. It's a steel one. A little bit tight. That's better. Okay. So there we've got the ailerons together. Now, because this is the bottom wing, it's got some landing gear blocks that glue into the wing, like so. Not sort of sure just how much glue we have to put on these to glue them in there, but anyway, before we do that, what I'm going to do is just clear out that I left some little marks where the landing gear holding brackets go, so I'm just going to clear them out with just about a 1/8 drill bit. That's all it needs. Okay. Now we can slide in these landing gear brackets. Quite a nice tight fit. So what I'm going to do is, I don't think I'm going to bother gluing these in because they will be glued together. I might just put a little bit around this leading edge because there really is no point in gluing them in because they'll be held in with the screws. So I think we'll just pop a little bit of glue around the leading edge like that. Slide that in. Just to hold everything in place. Same with this one. Okay, so that's the centre. Okay, now the next part will be to put the fuselage formers in, the two, one each side. I have done a test fit of all these formers and parts before I started gluing, and what I'm going to do is going to make sure that that is completely flat. Make sure it's right in there. Same the other side. This has got a longer web at one side than the other because the other is going to have the it's going to be shorter for the aileron. Okay. Okay, now we can put the second section on there. Because the servo there's a recess here for the servo box, and because it's going to be so close, I'll wait and cut that out and then just feed the wire through, pop a little hole in here. It's not going to be a big deal. In fact, this being the bottom wing, the hole will be in this top section to feed them into the fuselage. Again, before I do that, I'll just drill out these 2 holes, and the same on that side. The little recesses are there already, so it's just really a matter of drill them out. Sure this is centre section is flat, because it's actually a Clark Y section, but there's quite a bit of flat up to about there. It's flat, so we make sure that this centre section is flat, and then as it gets toward the outside they actually taper out, up and down, so the taper is equal. So we'll have to just be careful that we don't push it down onto the building board. But this centre section is actually flat, and we can use the carbon fibre tube to make sure everything's straight. Right, so this is the next section to go in. Incidentally, the fuselage formers are made in just standard PLA. I believe I used PETG for the centre, I think, to make it a bit stronger, a bit more flexible. Again, we'll lay that on the building board. Make sure it's flat. Okay. Okay, now I think now I'll glue these formers in place. This is the former with a little lug on for the hinge. Sure it's pushed right home. Seems the video knocked itself off there. I don't know why it does that, but Every now and again my phone decides it's had enough, it's going to close down the video. So if we missed that little bit, all I did was just glue in these two formers into the wing. And then we can add the next section of the wing on. Like that. Now, because this is the bottom wing, it's actually got some little recesses in here for the wing struts, like that. There are little knobbles on the bottom of the wing strut, just so that everything lines up correctly.